Welcome to the unofficial Tedeschi Trucks podcast. This is episode number 125, and I am Adam Choit. Follow the show. It's at Tedeschi Trucks Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. Just search Tedeschi Trucks Podcast. If you're watching, you are already there, so please be sure to subscribe, give the show likes, shares, positive vibes all around. Those are good things. Tedeschi Trucks Podcast.com forwards to the link tree. You can find ways to subscribe to the show, ways to listen, all the audio links and links to the band's website and all that stuff is on there. AdamChoit.com for all my personal stuff and social media and all that. I'm at Adam Choit on Twitter and Instagram. So this week, Tedeschi Trucks Band was in, where were they? They were in New Hampshire. They were in Maine. They were in Bridgeport, Connecticut 2 times. So we are going to recap those shows. I don't know if anyone's listening or watching and was at Maine and wants to come on and talk about the Maine show, you're welcome to join. So I'll reach out or some comment. Other than that, I'd like to bring on who do we have this week? Who do we have for our special guest? We have Sean Roche and we have Tara Richards-Heim. So let's bring them on. How we doing, guys?
I'm great.
Well,
oh, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. It's been a minute for Sean since he's been on a returning guest, and Tara, this is your first time, so I definitely appreciate that. Certainly.
Sure, happy to be here.
Oh, for sure. Let's talk. I want to hear about a little bit about your TTB history, Tara. You can tell me where you're based out of, and maybe even a little bit about your musical background, even just oh, I grew up listening to this and this, and my dad liked this, and then I played guitar in high school, and then I found TTB. So I'll let you kind of tell me about your TTB journey and your musical life a little bit.
Sure. I have actually kind of an interesting history. Music has always been a big part of my life. I was in a traveling chorus when I was young. And then I met my husband at the age of 17, and he was a huge blues lover. So he really turned me on to that type of music. And so during our time together, my husband unfortunately passed away from cancer about almost 2 years ago, and music was a huge part of our life. We traveled all over the country, New Orleans, Memphis, Chicago, to see the blues. And a lot of times we would plan our vacations around, seeing the bands that we love. And so when he passed away, I didn't want that part of my life to end. So I forced myself to go to a show alone, which I had never done before. But I was like, I just love Tedeschi Trucks Band so much that I don't want to stop going to the shows. So I reached out to some of the fans. They're like, come on, you got to get out there and go. And I started meeting a lot more people, and I started going to a lot more shows. That turned into making some friends that were friends with the band. So I was lucky enough on a few occasions to be able to hang out with them. And they're just such down-to-earth, kind people that it's, really been wonderful. And, for almost 6 months now, I've been seeing somebody new, and we met through our love of music. His name is Tim. And now we go to a lot of shows together. And so we're going to Red Rocks in a few weeks. And this will be actually his first Tedeschi Truck show.
Wow. Thank you for sharing all that. I appreciate it, because that's a lot of personal stuff, and I'm so sorry for your loss, but excited for your new life and your new journey. And I can't help but think how Tedeschi Trucks Band, their music, and even just seeing them as the people they seem to be just from afar as a fan, and we've all become friendly with them and to different degrees, I suppose. But it must be healing, in some way. It must be helpful. Is it helpful for the healing or I don't know.
Soul, for sure.
What's that?
I said 100% music heals the soul. It's like for a small period of time, you can get away from, feeling sad. Like TTB people are like family. They're like so kind and so friendly, and it's just become kind of a lifestyle for me. So, I'm really happy as I can be under the circumstances.
You know what I think? That's great. And you know what I think music does, and I think this band specifically, and Derek and Susan specifically, I think they help, well, me specifically, but people like process their emotions. Like you feel that help people get in touch with them. You feel them, and it helps process the emotions, if that makes sense. And some of the darker ones too, like some of the darker, heavier, challenging ones that we deal with in our lives as people on this planet.
Yeah, because it meant so much to me and because it was so moving. I don't know if you could see, but I don't want to show you this.
Tattoo.
I got a tattoo. Ugh, how can I show this to you?
I think you're doing it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's a tattoo of Susan's guitar.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got that. And then on the other side of my arm, I have the lyrics, "Loving you has made my life sweeter than ever," because that was one song that my husband played for me a lot. And so one of the times that I met Susan, I showed her and she was so sweet about it. She took a picture with me and she was like pointing at my tattoo and she was telling me the history of that song being like a Stevie Wonder song and everything. So that was really cool too.
Very cool. Yeah, I didn't know how hardcore you were, but that's awesome. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get you on more. I have a feeling we haven't even started talking about the shows yet.
She's your Red Rocks guest now.
Yeah. Oh, she's my Red Rocks guest. I want to get. I think I can get 9 or 10 people. I think 9 is the limit. It's like they can only fit the Brady Bunch rows of amount or something like that. Is the rule here? I'm trying to dig up the. I got the set list here and whatnot, so we could start digging into the shows because I know you guys are on the East Coast. Sure. Like honestly, like, and I feel that already with Sean. Feel that with you is that like we could just talk about music and this band like literally like all night for hours and hours and hours, like just about with just totally off the cuff and just about our experiences and all that. So it's just been a joy to connect with so many fans. And I feel like in the same way that for me, it's kind of happened the same way for you, like very organically and not really as a goal that we set out for at all. I don't know. I just was kind of already talking about this band, thinking about them and listening to them. So I'm like, I might as well do a podcast. I didn't really think about it in terms of connecting with fans, but honestly, like, I think that's like the bread and butter of what I want to do is just continue to recap the music and talk about the music with other fans and connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
What a journey.
Yes.
Well, we discussed this before, with the Never Alone at one of these shows, and I bought single tickets. So I will say that I'll never alone when I go to a TTV show.
Right. I've gone to a couple solo at least.
I was there with you.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even think of that one as a solo. I wasn't even thinking about the Beacon shows because that's like really not solo at all. I was thinking like one of the San Diego ones or something. I don't think I might not have really known anyone there. I remember walking around thinking the only people I know here kind of are the people on the stage. So I'm like, those are the only. So like, I'm like, who am I supposed to talk to? I might as well go try to find Bobby or something. Bother him. All right. Well, why don't we get into the music and the shows. I got the poster here. I particularly did like this one. I like most of the posters. I mean, I'm the wrong person because I love everything this band does. Posters, I guess I do like some more than others. They're also different.
Yeah.
So I kind of
I bought so many now that it's like I'm running out of wall space. So I tell my kids, I'm sorry, the pictures are coming. Your high school pictures are coming down soon because I don't have any room left on the wall.
Do they sell like 8x10s or something like that of the posters? Is that a thing?
No, I've only seen the big ones.
Yeah. I could see myself wanting to scoop up a bunch of those. That would be again, the walls run out of wall space. But this is a pretty one with the moon. It was a full moon that night. I do remember seeing that in New Hampshire. I heard someone talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not it. I'm looking for the. I think this is, yep, that's it. This is what the band shared, the set list here. I'm going to zoom in a little on that. I'll read it off for the audio listeners. Woman to woman, let me get by. Yes, we will. Until you remember. Feel so bad. Soul sweet song. Outside wind blues. Idle wind. Come and go blues. Fall in. Got my mojo working. La di da. Get what you deserve. Keep on smiling. Made up mind. I can't make you love me. I want more. Bex Bolero. I'm like exhausted just reading off the set list, like thinking about like the emotional journey that is all those songs and the intensity that like that this band has an intensity to it. Like I was thinking about that. That's like really why I'm drawn. Like one reason why I'm drawn to this band is because like they kind of have that intensity to their music that and seriousness that like, you know, like the Allman Brothers and like even some of the more hard rock type acts and rock acts. So it's like it has like an energy. I love the energy of the shows.
Well, I thought it was interesting because before like summer tour started, you know, a bunch of my friends and I will be talking about it and chatting back and forth. And you're like, what is this tour going to be like? And it's really a lot different than I expected because, you know, the last, you know, year or two, they've been playing all the songs off of the, you know, 4-album set. And, you know, there's not that much of it. There's a lot of cover songs that they're doing, and they're doing such an amazing job of them that, you know, it's different than I expected. And then all those first several shows that they were doing, they started with Woman to Woman every time. And then Susan Tedeschi didn't come out like right away. She came out like, you know, a couple minutes into the song and then just like belted out those lyrics. It was so nice.
I love that. I've been talking about this because I think it's just a great way for her to have an intro and have like kind of a moment and to like announce her presence and the lyrics are just like straight up. She's just roaring essentially on the mic. And it's just like, I love to hear like the first reaction of the night. And you get that too when Derek plays his first probably slide notes or slide solo, like the crowd, you can hear that on a lot of the audio recordings, which there was one for this show. I feel like I should thank the taper, whoever recorded this show. Maine just went up today. I was listening to some of that one. Someone recorded that as well. I should write that down. But thank you to the tapers. Tell me about the venue. This venue.
I've gone to Guilford quite a bit. I really like the venue. It's nice. It's outside. It's up in the lakes region of New Hampshire, so it's nice. You know, area to kind of hang out in. We like to, you know, do the tailgating ahead of time, so it's nice to meet up with a lot of the different fans and. You know, because I've gotten to know so many people, it's like we'll be texting ahead of time and, you know, we'll meet up with people either inside the venue or outside in the parking lot. So it makes it that much more fun before you go in. I mean, it's a great place during the summer to see a show.
Yeah, it looks like I'm pulling up one right now here. Let's see if I can grab a picture. Yeah, it looks like a nice place to see a show. Forget the picture.
Yeah, well, I've been there too. It's a great place. It's a very different type amphitheater. It's a little smaller, and it's and I wouldn't want to sit on the lawn there, but it's basically like a barn with no sides. So
is it right here that I'm showing?
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is not TTB, but from the internet. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what it looks like. How Sean just described it.
Yep.
Oh, we got Tracey here from who's going to represent the main show. Let me bring her in. She might just be on audio. All right, let's bring her in. Hello, Tracey. Are you with us? Are you with us, Tracey? Calling from outer space. Maybe not. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Let's get back to I'll try Tracey. Hang in there, and I'll get back to you when we get to the main show, if possible. Yeah, let's get back to the set list. I've been listening to the show a lot in the last week on the recordings. Like, kind of straight through. It'll, so I'll let you tell me about what jumps out at you. We don't have to dig into every song, but whatever jumps out at you.
So I just kind of wrote some notes about some of my favorite things from the show. And one of my absolute favorite ones was Idle Wind. It's like 18 minutes long, and they did the Rastaman chant in the middle of it, and it was phenomenal. So I really loved that. And then also another favorite of mine, Keep On Smiling, the Wet Willie song that they did was really, really good too. And I love whenever Susan does I Can't Make You Love Me, her vocals are just so phenomenal. She does such a nice job with that. What else? Well, of course, anytime they do like Allman Brothers songs, I loved Come and Go Blues was a different one that I haven't heard.
That was the day. I think someone said in one of the Facebook groups that was the debut of this song. I think at this show, from what I understand, Gabe with Gabe on vocals. With Gabe on vocals, it was excellent. And again, it just has that it had the spirit, it has the energy of the Allman Brothers, and Gabe is not trying to copy anyone's vocals, but he's bringing it.
Yeah,
in
he
his own
definitely
style.
brings his own thing to it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I love that. And then I caught on Yes We Will, which I wasn't 100% sure of this. I know they talk here and there about things like saving the planet or whatever, and I know that they feel kind of strongly about that. But I wasn't 100% sure about it. She dedicated it to B.B. King. So I was like, not sure of that.
Yeah, she's mentioned that before. It's more I think that's more of the style of the song, and then the message is more of the save the planet and whatnot. And something inspired by, I think, what something Jane Goodall said, yes we can, yes we will, yes we must, something like that, some kind of inspirational either catchphrase or quote or something she had read or heard about. I forget the story. She'll tell it. It's probably on someone's archive.org.
I mentioned it again last night, or whichever night they played it, the first night or the second night in Connecticut.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully I'll be able to ask her in Red Rocks, and I'll get back to you.
I just always think about how you, with all these set lists, you get like such a range of songs and such an eclectic sound, and you feel the range of emotions at a Tedeschi Trucks Band show. I'll keep like saying that, like just from thinking about Keep On Smiling, which is just such an upbeat, feel good kind of song, and that has a purpose and a place, as does Until You Remember and I Can't Make You Love Me, which takes you to a completely different, very, very different place. And I think it's important for humans to feel the range of emotions so we can learn how to maybe deal with them better in our lives.
Yeah. And I really connect, of course, with, like Soul Sweet Song, because even though I know it's about Kofi, like anybody that's had any kind of loss in their life, I think can really connect with that song.
Yeah, no, I feel like they've given us, even with what they don't play, what's the acoustic one off of I think it was off I'm the Moon. Keep on. I can feel you smile. I can feel you smiling. Like between that song and Soul Sweet Song, like they gave the fans, like us, the fans, like songs that we can listen to and we could share with others who are experiencing loss, basically for the rest of our lives, as like it's almost like a resource now. Like I don't mean that to put it like haphazardly or whatever, but it's like in some states it's like an emotional resource that we can lean on, and like
and it's a beautiful song. It's a a song about loss, but it's also remembering all the good things, so it's nice. It's uplifting. It's an uplifting sad song, if that makes sense.
That's kind of this band's brand. Not uplifting sad songs, but like uplifting. Being uplifting, but no matter what genre or particular tone any of these songs or style these songs have, it's always an uplifting. Do Do you ever a Tedeschi Trucks Band song starts and then it ends? Do you ever not feel uplifted? Does one not feel uplifted?
No, I always feel uplifted, and it shows their musical talent that they can sing about a song like that, and then they can, pull out another song that's like rocking, 2 seconds later.
It's because everything hooks you in, like at some point, like everything just like grabs you. And then sometimes if you don't know where you're going, they can kind of like take you on a journey, but they know where they're going, or they don't always either. But
Yeah.
it's that's what makes it fun. Some of the unpredictableness.
And then she talks about La Di Da. I have children, that are like college age. So she's talked about that song being about like her child going off, leaving the home, going off to college or whatever. And, so parents can, have that feeling too and understand that song.
Yep. No, this is a stellar set list. There's a reason I've been listening to this show over and over again. And
Yeah.
Outside Woman Blues, like just the guitar work on that is just so outstanding and stands out and stellar all around from both of them. They keep taking things to another level. Derek and Susan in the band, but Derek and Susan on guitar individually and collectively. Like some of the things I've heard in the last week, listening to shows, watching videos, just like some of the call and response things between like Susan playing solos and doing a call and response on Yes We Will with her vocal on some of those like outros is so cool. It's like they're two instruments. It's like her voice is an instrument, her guitar's an instrument, and they're responding to each other. And then Derek on Fall In, especially, he's doing a lot of that like call and response on the high notes and the low notes. And I don't know. I feel like the Beck show and thinking about Beck and having Jeff Beck like kind of like in their brain and in their set list, I think that's influencing some of their playing. I mean, I can't speak to too many specific nuanced things beyond what I've already mentioned, but I feel like it's starting to influence, or not starting to, but especially like influencing lately. What? Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Beck's Bolero. What a way to end the show. It's just like when you think it can't get any better, it does.
Yeah. No, they were, and I thought maybe that last week the Peach Festival show, like I was like looking at the clock and they were playing Beck's Bolero, and I'm like, oh, we might not get an encore. This could just be it ending with that songs, and who's going to complain about that? And they had more songs last week, but they actually, they did the encore with that. They, like what I always say, anything could be could be an encore. Pick their list out of a hat. So much good stuff all around. Anything else jump out at you?
Let's see. Oh, I love the fact. I love when Susan does like one of her older songs too. She had said that her family and her guitar player from her previous group when she was without Derek was there. So she said she wanted to play an older song. So she did Get My Mojo Working, and that was phenomenal too. I love when she does that old bluesy stuff.
Yeah, I guess someone was saying, maybe Tim Jones over had on to talk about it with the Club Ebony opening, the BB King Museum owned whatever club in Mississippi, and that's there they started playing. Derek and Susan played this song and a few other those old ones. So that's how those crept back into the set list. But yeah, this is awesome. Anything else? And otherwise, I think we'll try to bring in Tracey and move on to Maine here.
No, it was a great show, and I loved it.
Yeah, me too. I was listening over and over again. Let's try to bring in Tracey Lodge Butrica. I might be saying that name wrong, but if I am, I apologize. Tracey, are you there? Speaking to Tracey. Testing. Testing. Well, I'm gonna read the Let's go through the set list for Maine real quick and just read it and we can react.
There we go.
There? You there?
I made it. I know, like mic issues, lighting, you know.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I can hear you. I can.
Oh, very
Hi,
good.
guys.
Hello.
I still have no voice. Sorry, so no voice. No voice. A hot show in New Hampshire, though. You got to give it to them. They always home.
Tell me about the venue.
Oh, the venue. It's probably my favorite. I think it was like voted again best venue in 2022. I think it was the same. I had seen him in 2019 over there. I don't know. Very accommodating, great area. If you know, we opted to camp. It was great. There was just great people and amazing people. Like we were down in the left, like front security was great. Somebody pulled us right to the center stage of the rail for the encore. Like just amazing people around there. Great venue outside.
Tell me about your TTB journey and history and musical background and
oh, now
and all of that.
You're gonna make me like age myself now, but huge fan of Susan's coming up from the Boston area, so kind of came up. I laughed. My 26-year-old son, I think his first favorite song was Little by Little. I used to put in the CD player in the car, and he used to tell me to play the horns, and he ended up in jazz band, and then gosh, Allman Brothers Nut, Derek Trucks Band follower. I remember seeing those guys in Lowell at some, park in 2009, the Derek Trucks Band. It was just, they came together. It's just great. And they just keep getting better. There's so much talent on that stage. It's absurd.
Yeah. Wow. So you've been in this for a long time, going way, way, way back in the 90s.
Yeah, I have.
That's great though.
Yeah, grew up with the Allman Brothers going all the time, and then, just kind of branched off. Fell in what I think was their "Just Won't Burn" album. I think if you got bit early, that's what got you.
Did you have you seen Dwayne Allman live? Did you see that?
No,
not that.
No.
Now I'm really asking you to age yourself.
No. Unfortunately not. No, I just actually we laughed. This weekend was like my 50th birthday, my husband's birthday, our anniversary celebration. Like that's our thing that we do. We just go.
Well, happy birthday and happy anniversary, by the way.
Oh yeah. No, we don't have those anymore. Like you'd have Century Stop, I swear. But but you know what? I don't know. I don't think I can honestly say one of those people that didn't sit down all night, but to where I stayed to the left so I wasn't blocking anybody's view. But
is this the venue here? I pulled up a picture. You see the trees and Maine in the background. Am I at the right place here? The blue seats?
Well, I was in Guilford for that one. Yeah, that's the main amphitheater though, right there. Yeah.
Oh, you weren't at the Maine show?
No, I was at the Guilford show.
Oh, I'm tripping.
See? Yeah. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, no, I was at the Guilford.
Yeah, we were just talking about that one. That's funny. Yeah. Do you have any comments about the set list? I'll go back to it. It's all good.
No, you don't even have to. It speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself. Well, we can all react to the main set list. Where was that one?
Yeah, we actually scored tickets to that. Like my husband won them at the last minute, but he works too much. So.
Oh, this is it right here. I got it here.
Right.
I didn't read this one out yet, I don't think.
All right.
We had Here My Dear, Ain't That Something, I'm the Moon, Heartbreaker, Part of Me, Bell Bottom Blues, Why Does Love Gotta Be So Sad Anyhow, I Wish I Knew, How to Be Free, Do I Look Worried, Midnight in Harlem, Gravity, Angel from Montgomery, That Did It, I Want More, and Show Me. And like I was saying, this actually is on archive.org. Thank you to the taper for this one. And I did have a chance to listen to... I listened to Anyhow, I Wish I Knew, How to Be Free, Do I Look Worried, Midnight in Harlem, and Gravity, and I Want More. So I did hear quite a bit. I digging in a little bit on this show earlier, and it was interesting that on Midnight he was teasing Passaquan at this show. I don't know if you guys have heard that all
Absolutely.
You have heard the Midnight Passaquan tease where you don't know which direction the band is going in yet?
Yeah, that's the best though, because they'll just take you down the rabbit hole for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't I wouldn't say it was a few minutes, but it was probably 20, 30 seconds, which when you think you're getting Passaquan,
Well,
is enough
it's
to
easy to tell. Is he
Yes.
playing the SG or the hollow body?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
They do that a lot because I was in Guilford too. I was sitting there and I can't remember what song it was, but I was like, oh, Bound for Glory. And then nope, it was something else, you know?
Yeah. And then, because my husband looked at me at one point in Guilford. He's like, did you hear him just tease us with a little bit of Blue Sky? I said, did you expect anything less? You know?
Yeah.
But they've been teasing their own songs, which is kind of a newer thing. And it's almost like a testament to themselves to their own catalog and the quantity, of course the quality, but also the quantity of music that they've created. It's just like they can only do so much in each set. Does every set have a song from every original album in it? I haven't really thought about it, but I feel like that might be a goal of the band, I would guess.
I can't believe I haven't broke it down. I was at Saratoga too, and I can't believe the amount of music that they're playing. You know, it's basically Woman to Woman I heard twice, and I heard Passaquan twice. Other than that, nothing was repeated, I don't think.
Yeah.
Not that I can see, no.
Yeah, no, it's really kind of cool. They're getting they're getting up there like the Dead and the Allman Brothers, where you could go a week and a half without hearing a song repeated.
Right.
Is that what the Dead did? They would go that. What would be
They could.
like?
Sometimes they would, and sometimes they wouldn't. But you know, and Passaquan's just a jam vehicle, and that's probably, you know, outside of the that's about the only thing that ties it all together. It makes it the song. You know, he could go 800 different ways in that thing. You know?
Yeah. He's gonna make it sing no matter what. So.
Oh, I know, but it's going to be different every time. It's
right.
It's beautiful. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
There's nothing comparable out there. That's why I'm here talking about this, because there's just nothing like this. I've never heard anything like this, and just like the consistency and the variety, the consistency of the variety.
Yeah, well, it's pretty wide. I mean, it is wide. It's wider than it's been in the past. As I'm looking at this, sitting here. So,
is this the first time they've done Heartbreaker too?
On this, they did debut that on this recent, like in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville,
yeah. I heard that twice. They did it in SPAC, and they did it the second night in Connecticut. So.
Did they? Oh, I should have gone.
Such energy. It has such energy.
You have no idea. It's so angry. We won tickets to Bangor. My husband worked 7 days a week, so I already kidnapped him for 2 for Guilford. So I was like, yeah, responsibility, but.
Mike does such a great job on Heartbreaker with that song. Just really captures the heartbreak.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And makes it his own, of course, like everyone. You don't think, oh, I wish this was Mick Jagger thinking, like you might if you hear someone else doing a Rolling Stones cover quite often. Even if it's an iconic person, it might just sound weird or off. I don't know. Just they really make it their own, and the guitar is just with that what Derek does with some of those, I guess, Mick Taylor parts is just otherworldly on his own, and makes it his own too. And they capture the spirit of everything they cover, but they also make it their own and take things kind of to the next level in a lot of ways.
Oh, absolutely.
almost always, if not always.
It's true. Yeah, because Mike, I feel like no matter what he touches is gold. You know, the guy's the guy, listen to my voice, but that guy's voice is butter, and and all of them together. I mean, you can't, I don't know, Mari, there's just, I don't know, so much talent on one stage that you're foolish if you can't take it all in, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well said. I'm looking at the poster here, just the lighthouse. It's pretty.
Yes.
It's a pretty one.
Yep, it is a pretty one, the one for Maine.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody was looking, they had t-shirts with the lobster claws on the back. So I'll have to look at the merch store or something for that, because somebody was looking for them. They were sold out.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for the conversation between the poster artist and the band or their representatives, because like they didn't. I don't know. I don't know if the artist just made this just like based on just Googling the band and seeing what they're into, or I would imagine there's at least some kind of creative conversation going on. And I did have Jeff Wood on, who's done a lot of posters over the years, poster artist and artist. He does a lot of more of the Native American stuff, going back to even Derek Trucks Band style, the psychedelic mixed with the Native American style.
That's
So he
great.
he definitely talked a little bit, I recall, about having a relationship with the band and loving their music, and that that all helping make better art. But I would love to be a fly on the wall and say, oh, and because like I guess because those like there's meaning to all these images, so like it would just give more insight into what means a lot to the band.
Mm-hmm.
But there's things that the band likes to kind of be mysterious and private, and I respect that, and I kind of like that, and I like just not knowing what the band is going to play, and then them playing whatever they want, and not really, I don't know, it's all good. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm at the point where it's just like, you guys do, they know what they're doing. They don't
Well,
need me to
yeah.
like pick a set list for them.
Well,
But everyone's got opinions, of course.
Right.
When
Make
they
bets amongst my friends, and we say, okay, if you guess it right, then you don't have to eat the Rocky Mountain oysters in Colorado when we go in a couple of weeks.
Smart girl.
I think the artwork on the posters ties into when they were doing the elements on the different albums. I think this ties together with that a lot. The lighthouses.
Yep.
I did contact
And the moons.
The moon over Guilford, and that was it's like some super moon or something that night.
It was a full moon that night. Yeah, I was kind of
yeah.
saying.
It was great because we're all sitting there and it's like cloudy, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be stuck in this like camping here, like in the pouring rain. But after the show, the moon was out for a while. Gave us till about 3:30 in the morning till it started pouring. So
did it make everything more magical? It seems like all that stuff, it just makes everything just kind of more magical, and I can't think of another word to describe.
You know what? You don't even care. Like rain, I could care less. I had the best night. Like it's all good.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, safe, secure. Not foolishly driving around Weir's Beach at 2 a.m.
Hey,
I
had
play like a grown up.
7 a.m. the next morning, but nothing can bring me down from that high.
No, exactly. Yeah, I don't know how I did it. I wouldn't have slept, but I was the winner that like somehow, don't ask me how, but all I had was like 2 pockets, and somehow it just speaks, I guess, to the people who are around when you're at the shows, but my ID and my credit card gone. Was able to pick them up right at the venue. Some saint dropped them off. So
wow, that's great.
Yeah, what does that tell you? Right? It was one of those nights, but yeah, good people.
Yep.
I think that makes a big difference. And it was great. We had folks camping next to us, 13-year-old kid's first show with his dad. That poor kid, that kid's eyes were. He's the happiest kid I've ever seen. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Yep. Start them young,
Yeah, kids do like this music. Like we can kind of like forget like how that kids like this music. Like, see, watch some of those like reaction videos on YouTube and whatnot, and you could see like how a baby will react to like Led Zeppelin, but like start crying when you play like something that's more like synthetic, I'll just say.
Sure. No, you're absolutely right. Because that was like my joke. It was at the COVID concert in Guilford. It was like they were still at like a third capacity. It's like 2019. I don't even know anymore. But yeah. But either way, they just started opening the venues again. But we scored like this ridiculous pod in there with like a third capacity show. It was absolutely insane. And it was just amazing. And I laughed because I was in tears because you were discussing her how she'll go back to like her old stuff, and she pulled out Little by Little. And I know they played it so many times, but I missed it every time. And that was my son's like song, play the horns. He said, just play the horns. So I laughed because that show, they killed it with that. So they get them in. I don't know.
Yeah, Molly Rancourt. I purchased the foil version of the main poster. I love it. Very cool. Is that the main poster? I'm looking at the Bridgeport poster. I think we should get into the Bridgeport shows. We'll move it along. I got the poster for that one pulled up.
I contacted the artist of the main poster, and he said he might have some artist prints, because that's Portland Head, which is one of my most favorite places on earth. So hopefully I'll be able to get a copy of that.
Oh,
you're talking about full size. I was thinking that's where I can get 8x10s or something by going to the artist. Right to the artist.
Well, you could ask him. I'll send you his email address.
Yeah. No, I want to like collect them.
Yeah.
What's that, Tara?
I said, Sean, can you send that contact to me too? Because I'd love that picture.
Yeah.
Also, excuse me. Also, I would love it.
Okay, I can get you that. I'll put it in the group chat here in a second.
Yeah. Yeah, probably is a private chat here. Tell me about the venue, Sean, the in Bridgeport, because this is a picture of I think of it.
Well, Bridgeport is the home of Barnum and Bailey's. They have a museum there and everything. And I know you're a Long Island guy. That's where the
I've been there.
ferry comes into. Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. Well, if you got off the ferry in Bridgeport, you were there. So, but it's an old minor league baseball stadium, and it's the oddest amphitheater you will ever be in your life. And I pretty much lived there last summer. I went to 5 or 6 shows there. I took my nieces to see Ringo there. Dan Morrison there, and I saw Jason Isbell there. I saw some great shows there. And it seems that Westville, which I also love, which is in New Haven, it's kind of dying because I guess the city puts an extreme curfew on them, so everything's going to Bridgeport. But it's a minor league baseball stadium. They put the stage out in what would have been center field, and the floor is what would have been the floor of the baseball stadium. And if you look at that picture there, on the far wall there would have been the dugout, and the dugout's now bars. And they put the Barnum and Bailey style tent over the top of it, and they've got big fans in there that do absolutely nothing. It was hot. It was really hot, and so the bulk of the seating is what would have been the baseball field, and there's some folks sitting on the sides. But it is kind of a cool place, but it's really weird because it's wide at the stage and it gets narrower as it goes back, where most amphitheaters are narrow at the stage and they get wider as they go out. So, but it's kind of a cool place.
It looks like it looks like a spaceship in this picture.
Yeah, and then they add the big top to it. So, but, the whole place pretty much there's a small section that is not covered, and pretty much the whole place is covered. So that was good. It looked like it was going to rain, and it never did. So I didn't buy the poster on the first night because I was worried about the rain. That one right there. And then I went at the end of the show and talked to the guy, and he's like, I'll have some foil ones tomorrow. And I usually don't buy the foil. So I ended up buying the 2 posters the second day in foil. And he's like, do you want the same number? You want the same number for both posters? Sure. So I guess I got both the same number on both posters, which is kind of cool. So,
yeah, we're looking at more of a red and black and
well, it's day and night, so
in terms of the start times of the shows.
No, just the posters.
Literally the images themselves. Yeah.
Well, the
moon.
The second night is night, and the first one is day, but they both started at the same time. So it's a cool contrast. If I ever get them framed, I'll have to put them in the same frame.
Yeah.
So
that's an idea here. Oh, I got it. I clicked on the right thing. Like, woman to woman, Statesboro Blues, playing with my emotions. I'm the moon. Where my friends keep on smiling. Shame, ain't that something? Take me as I am. Outside One Blues, Soul Sweet Song. Got my mojo working. Leaving Trunk, Part of Me, Bound for Glory, and Slide Medley. I haven't had a chance to dig into too much of this show. I know you posted some of the last 2 nights, a little bit I've seen, but not.
Yeah, I had front row for the first night, so there were more videos and there were better videos. I just couldn't get a good angle the second night. So when the 2 guys in front of me went to get beer, I got video. So, but no, the first night, the woman to woman start. Statesboro was smoking. The cool thing was with the Sly medley. If you see on the side there, it says "Soup to Nuts." They had both bands on stage, Ziggy Marley's band and TTB. I mean, they even had 2 bass players, and they did the whole Sly medley. So the first song in the Sly medley, the Ziggy's bass player, the guy was sick. He was awesome. He kind of took the forefront, and Brendan just kind of stayed under him, and then the second song, Brendan kind of came to the front, and the other guy laid back a little bit. But it was cool. It was super cool. It's probably the best Sly medley I've heard them do. And they had all the backup singers on stage. They had the lead guitar player. They had the keyboard player. They literally had everybody. It was really good. So, and then Leaving Trunk also had volunteer slavery, of course, after it. And
Love it.
just a great night. And then you had both. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Saratoga. You did have the one Susan. Actually, I guess that was the second night.
It all blends together, and there's so many songs.
Yeah,
and
there's so much minutia that goes along with it.
That's why I pulled the set list, PK. It's almost like hard to even remember what's what. But yeah, this is just stellar. I'm sure it was amazing all around. And Statesboro number 2 is interesting. Like that's kind of probably was a surprise to people because it's almost like a song that they tend to either start their show with or kind of even end their show. That's been an encore or part of an encore towards the end of a show. Usually, it's usually not in the middle of a set list or number 2. But sometimes I guess.
Seems like Gabe gets all the AAB songs or ABB songs. So and he kills it. So
Susan sings on that too on Statesboro.
Yes.
Do they share the verses?
Yeah, but when they first started playing it, she was singing the whole thing. And now Gabe's
okay.
more of it. And the one thing I noticed that night being on stage, and I was also right in front of Brendan, and you could ask Bobby, I'm not sure, but it seems like Brendan's a little higher in the mix now, and he's totally comfortable and he's just killing it. I mean, he's really found his groove and he's riding it.
Yeah, on
absolutely.
Shame and on I when they do I Want More, there's a lot of standout moments.
But I'm just saying, I think they've actually raised him in the mix a little.
Yeah,
bit.
no, I wouldn't doubt it. What were you gonna say, Tracy?
Oh, I was just agreeing. It's Brandon. He's great. He's up there slapping that bass, he's doing great.
How many times have you seen TTB live? Would you say?
Lord. Seven. I don't want to overspeak it, but I'm like at least 7.
A handful. No,
that's with them. A good handful or 2, and then
Yeah, you followed them for a long time, but you haven't been to like hundreds of shows or anything like that. But these other two,
yeah, these two, I'm just envious. I'm like the East Coast girl that runs when she can,
Yeah. Tara, how many? What are we at? Did you post that?
Question, because my friend Janet on the website the other day, she put something up saying like, how many shows have you been to? Because my husband and I had a box under our bed that we kept all of our ticket stubs, so we were like counting through everything. But now that we don't have our tickets on ticket stubs anymore, it's like I've kind of lost track. But I would say up in the 50s.
Yeah.
Excellent. Envious. Excellent.
Sean?
Well, I used to keep track when Peter Shapiro had fans.com, and he had a journal in there, and they stopped doing that when they started with more of a streaming focus. And that time I was at like 50, so I'm probably approaching 70 at this point.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. I
Great.
try to email
Awesome.
myself. I'm in the 30s somewhere. For West Coast, that's pretty
oh,
good.
that's really good for West Coast.
Yeah, the beacon helps, but also again been kind of in this for
Well,
10 years
the
plus.
bulk of mine are at the Beacon, so the Beacon makes it easy. Well, it did make it easy. So
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe beacon next year, but
I hope so.
that's yeah, that's another conversation.
Well, no, it's like we could have one special show with lots of guests, or you could sit at the Beacon for 8 nights and pay $1,000. And I'm like, sign me up for the $1,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I wanted
hear.
to comment on too, which I think has been really nice. Have you guys noticed all the nice pictures that they've been posting, like Bradley Strickland's photos? And they're not all photos of like the actual band on stage, but like the life behind stage, which is nice because it shows a little bit more of their personalities.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just always so warm with each other and they just feed off each other. It seems like in such a positive way that
A certain podcast host may have suggested that they do more of that type of thing. I'll just say that. No, I commented before on the podcast that the social media has been really awesome, and especially for like the fan club, the Swamp Family stuff, some of that access that they give. Like, yeah, you get a lot of the personality. It really does like feel like a family in a lot of ways. You're part of the
absolutely.
family.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a nice surprise to open my email last week and say it just a free stream of Peach. So I had no
that was so good.
that. So
I thought you were going to comment on the Reading, PA show added, because I know that's not probably too far from where you are.
It's for middle of the week. It's probably a little too far.
Okay.
But,
okay. I see.
I'm not saying I probably wouldn't think about it. So
yeah. Should we get into the night two?
Sure.
Keep the train moving along, because I could talk for an hour about every song. We could have an entire episode just about Passaquan. Like that could be.
This was the big night. So basically Susan came out on stage and said, welcome everybody, and we're gonna bring Ziggy out right now. And now Ziggy Marley, and they did the Rasta Man chant, and she had the guitar. She really wasn't playing it. And when he got into it and he started dancing a little bit, she put the guitar down and she was just about dancing with him. And then he started really dancing. He had the arms going and he was jumping, and I thought she was going to lose her mind. I thought the crowd was going to lose their mind. And I did get video of it. I put it on a bunch of the groups, and
I watched it like 3 times already.
Yeah, I did too. I loved it.
So the crowd,
of course,
the crowd went nuts, and you really can't tell on the video. But so that kind of set the whole tone, I think, for the band and for the crowd, and it was just on from there. And it was the better of the 2 nights, probably. I think I probably liked the set list a little bit better the first night, but it was I just think everything came together.
Both are awesome, but this was obviously something a little bit different you saw, and everyone should definitely check out. Multiple people have posted on YouTube. I see that video of the Rastaman chant with
I'm
with
sure
Ziggy.
Scott was there, so I'm sure he has a really good one.
What do you think? Yeah, he posted it too, Scott Gibson. What do you think the thought? What do you got? Well, I'll to all you guys. What do you think the thought is to like doing that with Ziggy and a guest and something really outside the box to open the show with? Why not do that for the encore? Or I don't. Ziggy was going out.
I think Ziggy was leaving, so I think that's
right.
Why,
yeah, right.
That's why he wasn't there when his band came out for the Sly stuff the night before. I think the band was hanging out, and I think Ziggy was gone.
Right.
I could be wrong, but that's just the feeling I get. So
that does make sense, and it's no.
And it's such
scheduling.
It's such a different opener for them than what they usually have. So, to find that song that did fit was really cool. It's definitely, and it was cool to have that kind of opener with it. And there was definitely people that were there. There were lots of people with dreads and lots of people with Ziggy t-shirts. So I definitely think that there were people that were there for Ziggy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, and it is cool, and that's how you get exposed to other stuff, you know.
It worked. I'm sure it works both ways with the TTB and the Ziggy with the TTB. So far from everyone, they're telling me like none of us have dug too much into it at all yet tonight. But like that Ziggy's band and him opening for TTB has been just great and just really setting the tone and the mood for the evening and that genre and that style of music is also right up my alley. So I would be thrilled to see Ziggy Marley. But
and who doesn't love Bob Marley too? And he's been playing some Bob Marley tunes. Oh my god!
Finishing his sets with them, from what I understand. Medleys. Was he doing medleys?
Yeah.
And his band is incredible. So, like I said, that the slide thing, and that's the most viewed video of the week for me. It's already has 2,000 views, but the slide thing was sick.
Yes,
really good. So,
anyone? Yeah, go on.
I was going to say that I think the theme of the night was, you had Just Won't Burn, and you had 2 Derek Truck Band songs. So you had the Rasta Man chant and Feel So Bad.
Yeah.
And anytime they bring Mike to the front, I'm happy. I love Susan. I love Mike. I do like when they dig back a little bit. So
yeah.
But it was a good night. And then the Come and Go Blues and Yes We Will was on the second night, and she did give the little talk about BB King and climate change at the beginning of that. And the Passaquan was, I know some people hate it, and
who are they?
I love it. There are people that just think it's too long. So the person that accompanied me last night, one of the people that accompanied me last night.
Oh man, you're putting them on. You're putting them on blast.
Yeah,
they'll get that. They'll get there. I was when I first started, like, I guess, diving into the Allman Brothers. It wasn't Elizabeth Reed that, like, initially. It was probably Statesboro Blues that grabbed me before Elizabeth Reed. So it might be Midnight in Harlem will grab this person, but they'll come around eventually to pass it on.
That's going to be TTB's Liz Reed, and it was just a jam vehicle. That's what it was. But having the Passaquan followed up by Just Won't Burn made it a little easier for her, because her story sounds a lot like the other ladies here tonight with the horns. Play the horns. So
yeah.
her kid in the car too. So, and then the Heartbreaker and the Bex Bolero. The Bex Bolero is just unbelievable, and he's just using that like he used Soul. The Santana song Soul Salvation there for a while.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Soul Sacrifice, and and then during the pod shows he was doing that. Was it Midnight Rider? So, which was just sick, but it's just a cool little 3-minute glimpse into Glenn Beck's Bolero. It could be a lot longer, and I'd be happy. So
there's certain moments. There's certain moments in certain songs with TTB that I feel are almost like, it makes me feel like this feeling of triumphantness, of like it's a triumph. It's triumphant. And Beck's Bolero has definitely become something like that. It feels like such a triumphant moment as that song like climaxes, and Derek just like, does Derek things on the stage.
I have my theory on jam band music. It's all about the crescendo, brother. And that's exactly what that is. It's just build it, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger and bigger, and then bam, there it is. The crescendo.
Yeah.
and they transcend jam band music and the genre, obviously, anyway, with their songs, and just like the journey. Like, there's no weight. It never meanders. They're never meandering. We're on a journey, and there's a narrative and a story to the band and what they're playing, and to the interactions between them. It's just fun to follow along.
Are we allowed to use some saucy language here?
I think
bring it on.
Okay.
I take a lot of credit for going to see this band over and over and over again, and my boss is always busting my chop. Oh, it's Sean's 4,000th time to go see TTB, and he just doesn't get it, and he's never going to get it.
Do they actually listen to the music? No, of course not.
He's a pop country guy. You know, and I'm driving him to see Jason Aldean next weekend, and Jason Aldean will be wearing an Allman Brothers t-shirt, and I'll go, who's your boy's hero? So
I've used that phrase a few times in my life to others, and saying, "Oh, you don't like what I'm into? Just so you know, your hero's hero is my hero." FYI. Yeah. What else? Anything jump out at you? Rasmus Chan here, my dear fallen, made up mine. Yes, will come and go. Blues, Midnight in Harlem. La-di-da, feel so bad. Circles past Quan, just won't burn. Heartbreaker. I want more. Bex Bolero anyhow, and Stand Back Worthy encore. Or was it I Wish I Knew? Question mark. What was it? What was your break? I think Sean's. Am I losing Sean there? I think we're losing Sean. Maybe just try audio also, Sean.
That's what I do. I don't know. I think I'm just special. But
you know, the connection, it does tend to work better sometimes, just the audio. Your internet is not, it doesn't strain the internet. You could jump in and jump out. Oh, there he is. He's on top of it. But yeah, this is just a stellar set list in Come and Go Blues. I don't know if this was the second or third time they played that, but totally captures the spirit of the song. There he is. You're back. You're good?
Yes. Anyhow was cut. That's the last thing I had. They did not play Anyhow for the encore.
Did they play I Wish I Knew instead?
I don't think so. Stand Back, I believe, was a 1-song encore. So
that I watched. I think you got a video of that. Yeah,
people are watching my videos less, so I'm not going crazy over it, and I'm so I'll take less of them, and I'll put more just like 2-minute snips on Instagram, and so if anybody wants to look that up, they're there. It's the Cool Uncle on Instagram.
Yeah, you're transitioning from YouTuber to Instagram influencer.
Oh, actually, it's the Uncle Sean. Sorry, with underscore for each word. So
yeah, you guys are welcome to plug whatever as well. Anything else about this show jump out at you, or what we should talk about? I'm sure Circles and Passaquan. I hope someone recorded audio or video. I haven't checked.
I got. There's some on Instagram. The Heartbreaker is on YouTube. The Rastaman Chan is on YouTube. I did one other one on YouTube.
What about tapers? What about audio?
I haven't had enough time to look yet. I'm flying to Chicago tomorrow night for work. So I got La Di Da. So that was the 3 I got. La Di Da, the Rastaman Chant, and Heartbreaker. That I got the full song start to finish.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they're out there if anybody wants to look them up. So.
Yeah, between you and Scott Gibson, there's a couple others too posting some video. We could probably end up piecing together the entire set list from both nights in one video if there's no audio.
The first night Scott was behind a pole and he was not happy. The second night he had a much better angle. So
Alex Leary had the New Hampshire show, the tape for that one, and the Maine was recorded by Colin Waldschultz. Colin, if you're listening, you're welcome to pop on and whatever. Here we got, I missed this earlier, Burlette Design Company did the Maine poster per Molly Rancourt. Thank you for that info. Yeah, this is just on, the Stand Back was on fire. And it was a stand back without a Mr. Clean. Like, that just goes to show how flexible this band is. And that's something I was going to say earlier, like how flexible and how they can evolve and just change things on the fly and adjust. And just like the Rastaman Chant was something that they did in Idle Wind, whatever, a night or two earlier in the middle of the song. It's just kind of like, you know, a little, not throwing, but that's where they put it. And now they're opening a show with it. So it just goes to show like the greatness of, you know, their ability to bring it on all these songs. I don't know. I have nothing. I'm running out of things to say about this band. I need to study a thesaurus or something. Usually I was doing that for a while. I would like pull up thesaurus and just type like outstanding or awesome, and you just see all the words that come up, and they were all accurately describing this band and their music. So it is kind of helpful.
I'm using incredible and awesome way too much. So
I know I do the same thing. That's why I do love to have musicians on to talk about the band, because musicians do tend to be a little bit more articulate about, I don't know, some of the specific things about the music, where I'm just like, yo, that sounded awesome. Yeah. That was so cool when Derek did XYZ. Sounded so great. Whatever.
Yeah, same. During the Boston, they were wicked awesome.
But yeah, everyone just appreciates this band and on so many different levels. And whether you've been listening since 2017, like some people I've spoke to, or been following Derek and Susan since the 90s, or have had a chance to see them 40, 50, 60 plus times, like, or in the 30s, it's like we all just like love. I can see how much we're all like insane, and we're all kind of insane in our own ways. We've been talking about like what the moon was like at the New Hampshire shows. Who else is doing stuff like it's fun. It's fun though. It gives the whole experience more meaning, certainly.
So here's the $85,000 question. Are you coming to New York or Boston for the garden parties?
No. But I was gonna say that, like, oh, if the beacon was a thing, that would be harder to resist. That, like you were saying, crunching the numbers. I did too much traveling last year to shows. I think I went to 7 last year.
Okay.
What's that?
Well, I think it's going to be really, really special, and I'm thinking of all the guests that Lucas could pull and all the guests that TTB could pull. And
I think it's going to be Willie Nelson. I'm just saying it now.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure there's a good chance you could have Neil Young there too, because Lucas is Neil's backing band. And then you think about who TTB could pull. There's Warren, he'll be there.
Who's Warren?
Yeah.
You know who I want to be there? The 12 members of Tedeschi Trucks Band and Ed Gendelman to record it for me.
There you go.
There you go.
That's all I need.
Throw a little Warren on stage too, for good measure. That's just a gift, no matter any time. So.
Well, you tell the band that when they're on their way to Japan, they can stop in Los Angeles and San Diego, and I'll go to Phoenix, or I'll maybe I can try to go to Northern California. Like I could see that happening.
I think you got some phone numbers you could tell them yourself.
No, nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me. No, it's okay. I'm at peace with like whatever my 2023 show going TTB destiny is going to be. Like, just that's why I'm doing these recaps. I feel like I was at these shows already, and I haven't even like dug in on the Connecticut shows yet, and I already feel like I was kind of there. I know I'm not going to make fun of Bridgeport. I was going to, but I'll be nice to Bridgeport. It's not a fancy It's not a fancy town.
And there's a big smokestack right next to the amphitheater. So
I remember it's industrial. It's in a kind of an industrial looking vibe.
Isn't there a train right there? Wasn't there a train?
The train goes right behind it.
Right by.
The ferry's right behind that. Every time the Metro North went by, it wouldn't overpower the band, but when the band wasn't playing, basically the whole thing would give a little bit of a vibration. So I mean, the train is literally right there on the backside of the building. So
that's why I'm doing this podcast, to like get those little anecdotal experiences that really make me feel like I was at the band. Like I feel like I was at the Ryman Theater. Like can picture like the sunlight and the pews and all this stuff.
Well,
and people tell me what
the poster with the lighthouses should have the Metro North running along the bottom.
Right. Yeah. We were talking about the smell of a venue recently. I mean, we dig in on all this stuff. Cool. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's time.
Thanks, guys.
Any of you guys keep me posted with future shows. If you want to come and recap them, you're more than welcome to. Feel free to recommend guests. Anyone who's listening or watching, like if you're going to shows and you're a nice, semi-normal person, not too normal. We don't want too normal. You got to be a little off. To want to be on this, but yeah, if you're going to a show, I'm looking just always for more fans to come on to recap them. Anything else you guys want to mention or you think might be cool for audience to know about? you guys or TTB or whatever.
Just get to the garden party.
Yeah,
Don't see anybody else there.
I'm gonna go to Japan.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm gonna go the other way. We'll see.
Are you gonna go?
I don't know about that.
Well, you didn't say no.
Right?
I don't think so. Just keep recording the shows. Just give me the audio. Just keep pumping the audio and just let me do my podcast and we're good to go. I'll see the band again someday. You know, it's all good. I'm in the 30s. I've lived a very blessed TTB experience. I've kind of already checked off all of many, if not, plenty of bucket list items, and sometimes literal items. Like I have the slide, I got the set lists, I got photo. I have all the things.
Yes, we got lucky enough to score a set list on Guilford. That was good hit.
And I honestly say, like, if they never played another note for a live album or a live show or never recorded any new music, I feel like I would be sustained enough just from archive.org, like all the live stuff from there. And it's crazy to think that, like, not only is there more stuff coming, there's a lot more stuff coming, like literally right now this week, and all this stuff like that we're discussing. So much new music and new songs and bringing back old ones, and I could just ramble all day about this band, but I'll let you guys get on with the rest of your evening because I know it's 3. You guys are all 3 hours ahead of me. But thank you again, Sean, Tara, Tracy.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks
for chatting. Hope to dance with you all someday. All right. Take care.
For sure. Talk soon, guys. Later.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Peace. So there you go. Episode was at 125 with Tara, Sean, Tracy, recapping Tedeschi Trucks Band in New Hampshire. And we even talked a little bit about the Maine show, even though that none of us were there. And we talked, of course, Connecticut as well. Just good stuff all around. Great music. I can't wait to dig more into everyone's videos that have already been posted of the Connecticut stuff. At Tedeschi Trucks Podcast on Instagram is me. Please follow or subscribe on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. That's definitely appreciated. As our positive reviews on Apple Podcasts. Tedeschi Trucks Podcast is the YouTube channel. I'm at Adam Choit on Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me. AdamChoit.com for personal stuff. Tedeschi Trucks Podcast.com for everything related to the show. Tedeschi Trucks Band.com is their official website. Definitely buy tickets to shows. Go to shows if you can make it. Buy the merch. Join the Swamp Family Club. Download the app. Thank you to the band, the crew, the music, all the fans out there who come on the show, who listen to this podcast, who support me, the band in any way. I appreciate that, but I think that's about all I got for today. I appreciate you guys listening, watching. Thanks as always, and let's talk soon. Peace.